off the floor at all, which is good. They're not going lower, which is also good. Um, so the rates are low. The competition is fierce. I think I've noticed recently is there's a lot more people. I think this might be like an online lead type thing. Like I'm go on Zillow and I see a house and I want to make an offer. The make an offer at the last minute, it's just not going to happen. It just you're not going to be prepared. So that's something I've been coaching people on a lot more, and really just since Martin Luther King,
Hmm.
the holiday. After that, it was these offers are due at 1, and I need to get pre-approved real quick. It's not going to work out. You're just not going to be prepped and ready. I think the amount because there's so much competition. Yesterday I had one that there was 34 offers in Oakland that we bid 400,000 over the list price, not the ask price, but the list price. We didn't get accepted. And then I had another one yesterday.
And what were they? Give us some of the details on that property. Was single family? What was the list? Was it listed under the million mark, like
Yeah,
995?
it was listed under 1.1. It's the kind of the traditional Oakland. We all know it's probably gonna go higher, but let's list super low just so we can say we got 40 offers. Um, so that kind of continues, but the amount of real offers on each property is definitely heavier than it was. And I just think you have to be prepared. You have to have done the research, know the area, know the comps. You have to know your max price. You have to know your line in the sand. And then I think sometimes your line in the sand gets redefined. And I'm going through it personally. I got into contract last Tuesday,
Ooh,
and there was
congrats.
15 offers, and I'm in over my line in the sand for sure. But I'm comfortable with it because I knew what I was getting into because I researched it and prepared. So that's all. It's really what I think is you're not going to buy in the Bay Area unless it's there's properties out there that maybe nobody else wants or aren't as in demand. But if you want the what do they call it, modern farmhouse? If you want the modern farmhouse look with the white
Shiplap.
siding and the black door and the white counters and the black
Hmm.
hardware, so does everyone else. And so you have to be ready for it. So it's the biggest shift I'd say that I've seen since we were here last. And I do think it is just, it's interesting. I coach people through this all the time, but doing it myself gave me a completely new perspective on it, the whole emotional roller coaster of it and everything else. So you really, really, really have to be prepped and ready to go if you truly want to have a shot at getting an offer accepted for those, more desirable properties.
Yeah.
How often are your clients making offers? Like one client, are they making multiple offers a week at this point?
Some are, some are, some aren't. Some are more specific on the property they want. But yeah, that as something comes on, it's constant, and it'll just be, we need a letter, and offers are in an hour, and it's like we're not ready. You're not gonna. It's just not gonna happen like that. So we are seeing more. But what I really try to do with the clients I end up, I get referred a lot of people, and a lot of them won't work out because we're probably just not a good fit because I don't believe in this last minute thing. I want people to get accepted. So we do get accepted, but there's definitely a longer, more methodical process than I think it's ever been.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it's also, this we're coming out with a whole new gamut of gung ho buyers in 2021, and the inventory hasn't shown up yet. Lots of sellers that we're talking to where they're kind of like, hey, we're doing this and we're doing that, and stuff is going to roll out in February, and then other stuff will roll out in March. It's we definitely have this imbalance right now between the buyers who are in the marketplace and the inventory that is currently showing up.
Well, and a lot of the buyers in the marketplace are sellers as well. So, like, for instance, I was looking at something with a client yesterday where, the sellers have not purchased the replacement because they're shopping in the Sunset, and like it's incredibly competitive, and it always has been, but it's even more so right now because there's not a lot of inventory. So, they're like, are we gonna take offers before we're in contract? Like, what do we do? So there's a lot of the limbo for, I think,
Mhm.
sellers right now of like, and we've been having this conversation with a lot of our clients, like, who are moving on out of the Bay or within the Bay, but moving around. What is the sequence of events that happens there? And I just think that this is the time for like this is like the New Year's resolution buyer time, from was what I think of it as. Like, hey honey, let's buy a house in the new year. Like, we'll start in the new year. And it's like this huge rush of buyers that have made this decision for 2021 for themselves. And that's causing a lot of, 10, 20 people running at the same property. And I've
But
had to talk to our clients,
single families.
single
Yeah,
families, but I mean, and the really cute condos.
and the really,
Yeah, but I mean, just in terms
or the
of like,
smaller price point.
yeah, making sure that they're not getting caught up in the like higher, and comps don't matter, and making sure that we're methodical about knowing that the inventory will come, and it might not be the best thing to just be like focusing on the competition part of it rather than what is the right price for that home for you. So a lot of stamina
A
involved.
lot of patience. Mhm.
Well, I think so. That's that was the exercise I went through. Was 50,000 higher than I wanted to be. I basically worked this to where I got first right of refusal, right? So I'm 50,000 higher than I want to be, and I'm like, I know there's more inventory coming, right? But is there enough? If demand, let's just say that the inventory doubled, so there was 15 offers on the property I offered on. If the inventory doubled, there's still 8 offers, right? So it's not like the competition part's going away. But the way I looked at it was, if somehow I found a house that was 100,000 less than my price, but rates were back to January of 2020's levels, which is basically 1% higher than where we are today, my payment's $100 more a month. Like, on all sides financially, it didn't make sense. And so my personal opinion was, if I don't go for this one, and this house checked all the boxes, like this is the house for me and my family, which is why I was willing to do that. But to Haley's point, I didn't go blind. I did, it's 200,000 over the asking price, but the appraisal came in at value, which I knew it would because I researched the comps, and I knew I did what we do, right? I did what we do for our clients, and you just can't do that in a day. It takes time to prep and plan, is kind of my message to people right now. So I didn't, make some like totally off the wall
Random.
offer.
Mm-hmm.
No, there's plenty of data, research, analytics that went into it. And then also the emotional side of, I pass on the house, that's perfect. And then, 7 offers from now, I'm like, now I'm up way higher than I wanted to be again. And I wish I'd never done that. So it's just kind of going through those exercises. But the idea is, the last minute buyer won't, it's not going to work out. You just won't be ready.
Well, they're kind of they're making themselves be moths to the flame in a lot of ways. And with those 15 offers, I guarantee you 5 of them were probably last minuters, kind of just tossing in something over the fence with kind of no idea, no knowledge. 5 of them probably were focused in or around a particular number, and they were all within this circle. And then the last 4 to 5 were all out here outside of that circle.
Yeah, I was 8th place on my offer.
8th place. Wow.
Yeah, middle of the pack.
Middle of the pack.
Yeah, there's nothing like being told you're middle of the pack, but you're still off by 200 grand or something.
Yeah, I was off. You're in the middle of the pack. You're off by, the top offer was all cash, non-contingent, on a property that had no inspections. And so my option was, the sellers want to accept you guys. I did a lot of legwork on this, and but they want the price, and they want the non-contingent. And I was writing with just inspections, and I was like, well, here we go. So, and it turned out great. Inspections are fine, but it was different going through the emotions, but going through that process helped me to kind of be better at my job, because I can give better guidance on that emotional side of it. So that's all. Going through it myself, I just went, when people call me and want to make, it's 11 o'clock and offers are due at 1, and I want to make a offer at 1.4 in 2 hours, and I haven't even started the process. Sorry, you lose. And I'm sorry, but I can't spend time with you on that, because there's just it's all for nothing.
Yeah, that's not going to be a winning situation.
Yeah. So I just think preparation is more important than it's ever been. And Haley, I think back to the first couple that we helped buy, and I think it was 2017 or maybe beginning of 2018, and it felt very much like it feels right now. And so it's not that this is our first rodeo.
Mm-mm.
It's a little bit of a different game, but yeah, you just got to be ready. And actually, that's the other part of it. So going back to house lending, appraisals are definitely starting to take longer. They're just kind of all over the board. And I think like getting signing scheduled is harder. I had one last night. There was no notaries available whatsoever. So we couldn't sign. So the notaries
had-
are overwhelmed. The appraisers are
we've had that
overwhelmed.
issue a couple of times where, yeah, no, there's no notaries available.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we had a client who had their own notary. They were like, "Oh, my friend's a notary. Like, I'm gonna use them." You know, it was like great. You know,
totally.
make friends with notaries, everyone.
But
Well, no, so it's
this
just interesting because to me, it felt like because the rates have stayed flat. So it felt like the refis were starting to kind of fall away. And that meant that if that volume goes away, there's more notaries available, there's more appraisers available. And it seems to be the opposite. So I guess the refinances are just staying steady, but now we have the purchases going up on top of it. And that's creating these things on the appraisal being on the front end and the notary being on the back end of the transaction.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting, and it just this whole e-notary thing that legislatively is in process right now and was accelerated by COVID would definitely take a solution in that regard is a major bottleneck that would be removed from the process. So
and what's interesting about that is our company went to e-notary, full start to finish closings, like zero human contact closings in like April of last year. 35 states already have it. California, ironically, being the most technologically advanced as far as employers goes, we're one of 15 that doesn't allow a full digital signing. So it's not like we're trying to invent something. It's already there. 35 other states are doing it. We just haven't adapted it yet.
Yeah. But it's coming down the pike now with what has gone on in 2020. So we would have, I think before 2020, we were probably 5 years plus away from agreeing and adoption. And now there's a good chance that it may come in before the end, into full process before the end of the year. So. But what are, when we look at numbers, Haley, what are we looking at inventory wise?
Pretty. It's funny. I mean, it's really like a steady line. I mean, except for the little holiday dip there. We're back to single family homes. We have 57 new on the market in the last week. 60 is usually the number there. 135 new condos. So we're always in that 130 range, right? 28 new TICs. I've been seeing a lot of TICs come on. It's interesting. And 22 new multi-units.
And it's always 15
residential income now.
Yes, residential income now in our new database. So
new.
Yeah.
65 homes went pending or contingent, single families, and 31 closed. We had 76 condos go pending or contingent, 8 TICs, and 22 multi-unit. So 22 active and 22 went contingent on multi-unit. 46 condos closed. So 135 in, 46 closed. 9 TICs closed, 5 residential income closed.
And then what closed? But the number that sounds interesting there is for the amount of single families coming in, 57, how many went into contract last week?
Well, contingent or pending, 65.
65. So there's your demand outstripping kind of what's kind of coming in.
Yeah.
So that's, whereas we're not in that situation on condos where how many went contingent on condos?
So 135 new, 76 contingent or pending.
So 2/3, 66%. So which is a big, that's a good improvement from where, because we were down to a third at a point there, and then got up to about 50-50, and now we're up to 2/3. So that's a definite uptick on the condo.
There, I would say also just like anecdotally, the conversations I've been having with other agents is that like our condo's back. It's like because a lot of them have been, I mean, it depends. Like there was one very adorable one that was like 2-level and everybody was very excited about it. It was very unique, 35 offers. But you know, the other ones that are popping up in that area now, kind of the central city area, that are cute with parking and laundry, and lower HOAs, like those are still going really, really quickly. And TICs. I mean, I had some friends that had some agents that got TICs up in Russian Hill in contract in less than a week. Like it's stuff is fire. It's not just single family homes. But we'll see. I don't know. We'll
It's
see what happens.
interesting. Yeah. Cool. And when we go looking for you, Sean, and we're trying to find you, where do we find you?
All over the internet. You can just Google Sean Herrero on Instagram at Adventure Lender, and then youtube.com/Sean Herrero as well.
Awesome. Haley, in the dark, when we're looking for light, where do we
I'm
find?
literally in the dark here.
Yeah.
You literally are in the dark. Where is your light?
Well, the puppy gets the living room now, so
Okay.
I take the dark room.
Oh.
He's not camera ready yet, so.
Oh, okay.
But we're at. Sorry.
I would beg to differ.
He's very Instagram ready. He's just
Okay,
not
okay.
webinar ready.
Okay.
His business side is not quite there yet. We
Got
need
it.
to hone his acumen. So we are at Elevation SF on Instagram, elevationrealestate.com. Shoot us an email. We can put you on our weekly report that tells you all about the current market. And so Eddie or Haley at elevationrealestate.com.
Awesome. It's always real. It's always good. It's great seeing you guys, and we'll see you next Thursday.
All right. Thanks for having me, you
Thursday.
guys.
Awesome.
Good luck with the transaction, Sean.
Almost done. Oh, it's a 2-week close, by the way.
Oh my
Oh my
God.
Of
God.
course. I'll let you know how it goes on Wednesday.
All right. Best of luck.
Good luck.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.